Ever wondered if there's a secret to keeping the spark alive in a long-term relationship? That passionate fire you felt in the beginning, can it truly be rekindled? As a medical sexologist, I've dedicated my career to helping couples navigate the complexities of intimacy, and I've discovered one powerful tool that can reignite passion and deepen connection, no matter how many years you've been together. Today, we're going to dive into the world of oral sex, a topic often shrouded in silence and even shame, especially as we age. But I'm here to tell you that this intimate practice isn't just for the young. In fact, it can be a game-changer for couples in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. Are you ready to challenge the myths, overcome the embarrassment, and discover a new level of pleasure and intimacy? Let's break down the barriers and explore how this powerful tool can transform your sex life. If this video has sparked your curiosity or resonated with your experiences, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Let's create a supportive community where we can openly discuss sexuality and age. And remember, a fulfilling sex life is within your reach. Hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on more tips and advice. Together, let's challenge the stereotypes and embrace the joy of intimacy at every age. In contemporary society, there remains a persistent taboo and discomfort surrounding the topic of sexuality, particularly in older adults. Despite the fact that sexual health is an important aspect of overall well-being, discussions on intimate topics, such as fellatio, are often avoided, leading to a culture of silence and misunderstanding around sexual intimacy in later life. This silence is particularly pronounced when it comes to older individuals, particularly those aged 50 and beyond. Many older adults feel that their sexual desires are irrelevant, or that they are not entitled to express these desires due to the societal belief that intimacy is the domain of the younger generation. This belief system creates a barrier to sexual expression and leaves many older individuals feeling isolated and disconnected from their own desires. This discomfort and silence around sexual intimacy are often compounded by the misconception that intimacy is solely about physical pleasure. Society tends to view sex in terms of physical performance, placing heavy emphasis on the act itself, the physicality of it, and the ability to perform, especially in terms of male sexual function. As people age, this view becomes even more entrenched. The assumption that libido declines with age, particularly after the age of 50, leads to the belief that older adults simply lose their desire for physical intimacy. The reality is that intimacy is a much broader, more complex concept that is about much more than just the physical act. It involves emotional connection, trust, and vulnerability, elements that, contrary to popular belief, can deepen with age rather than fade away. One of the greatest challenges facing older adults in terms of sexual intimacy is the societal belief that sexual desire fades with age. This belief is perpetuated through media, cultural narratives, and even healthcare systems that often fail to address the sexual health of older adults adequately. In many instances, this leads to embarrassment or a sense of shame around intimacy in later life. People in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond may begin to believe that their sexual needs are no longer important or that their sexual identity is irrelevant. These feelings of self-doubt can make it difficult to engage in or initiate intimacy, especially when it comes to oral sex or more unconventional sexual practices. However, the reality is that intimacy can continue to thrive and even evolve in later life. When people reach their 50s and beyond, they often bring with them a wealth of emotional maturity, experience, and understanding about their needs and desires. The challenge lies in overcoming the discomfort of acknowledging and acting upon these desires. Many older individuals may have spent decades in long-term relationships and may feel that their sexual intimacy has dimmed or become routine. But this does not have to be the case. Intimacy in older adulthood can be reinvigorated and enriched, with a focus not just on the physical act, but on the emotional bonds that sustain it. Older adults may also face physical challenges related to aging, such as decreased circulation, erectile dysfunction, or vaginal dryness, that make intimacy feel more challenging or less pleasurable. These physical changes, while common, are often misunderstood or ignored, leading to performance anxiety or stress about sexual abilities. The pressure to perform or meet certain standards of physicality can create psychological barriers to intimacy, leading to a disconnect between partners. This is where the importance of open communication and a shift in focus towards emotional intimacy becomes essential. Moreover, many older adults are not aware that sexual health and well-being can be actively maintained through various practices, including oral sex and other forms of intimacy. For older men, in particular, regular sexual activity, including oral stimulation, can play a crucial role in maintaining good blood circulation, preventing erectile dysfunction, and enhancing overall vitality. Unfortunately, due to the stigma surrounding discussions about sexuality in aging, many individuals are unaware of these benefits. Without education, the tools for overcoming sexual challenges may remain out of reach, and the belief that intimacy is only a young person's domain continues to persist. One of the main challenges in addressing sexuality in older adults is the societal stigma surrounding the idea of older individuals being sexual. People are often conditioned to think that sex and intimacy are things of the past for those who have reached a certain age. This outdated belief assumes that older people simply no longer have the same needs, desires, or capacity for sexual connection. Unfortunately, this stigma often keeps older adults from exploring or discussing their sexual needs openly. It also contributes to a sense of isolation, as people may begin to believe that their sexual desires are something to be hidden or ignored, rather than embraced. There is also the deeply rooted shame surrounding more intimate practices, such as oral sex, especially for older couples. Oral sex is often viewed as something that belongs to younger, more adventurous people, and thus is often neglected in later life. This leads to a disconnect in relationships, where physical intimacy becomes reduced to less fulfilling or even non-existent practices, simply because of fear or embarrassment around more expressive sexual behaviors. Additionally, many older adults struggle with mental and emotional challenges related to aging, such as performance anxiety, insecurity about physical appearance, and concerns about sexual health. These emotional barriers can make it difficult to fully embrace intimacy and sexual expression. It is important to note that these anxieties are not necessarily about the physical act of sex itself but about how the act is perceived, either by oneself or one's partner. Anxiety about not being able to meet sexual expectations can erode intimacy and cause emotional distance in relationships, particularly in long-term partnerships where the dynamics of intimacy have already evolved over the years. Another key challenge is communication. For many older couples, the lack of open dialogue about their desires, fears, and boundaries can contribute to a breakdown in intimacy. This issue is often compounded by the fact that older generations have not been provided with adequate resources or platforms to discuss sexuality in a way that feels safe and supportive. Overcoming the fear of judgment and embarrassment requires not just individual courage but also a cultural shift that validates older adults' sexual rights and experiences. Lastly, many older individuals are simply not aware of the evolving nature of intimacy in later life. They may think that intimacy needs to look the same as it did when they were younger, centered around physical performance and visual pleasure. But as people age, their physical needs change, and their understanding of intimacy can evolve. Instead of focusing solely on physical acts, intimacy in later life can be a soulful connection that transcends the body and deepens the emotional and spiritual bond between partners. This shift from physical performance to emotional connection is something that many older adults may not recognize as a possibility, and as a result, they may be missing out on some of the most fulfilling sexual experiences of their lives. To overcome these challenges, it is essential to redefine intimacy as something that evolves and deepens with age. Oral sex, for example, should not be viewed as a mere physical act, rather, it should be understood as a gateway to deeper emotional connection and a means of releasing bonding hormones like oxytocin and dopamine. These hormones foster trust, security, and affection, key elements in long-term relationships. The practice of oral sex is not just about physical pleasure but about building and reinforcing an emotional bridge between partners, which is especially important in later years when the risk of emotional distance can arise due to the physical changes that accompany aging. By offering practical advice, such as how to approach oral sex with sensitivity, respect, and open communication, older couples can feel empowered to reclaim their sexual identities. The video encourages relaxation, gentle exploration, and the incorporation of techniques such as hand use, maintaining hygiene, and variations in pace and technique to enhance intimacy and pleasure. Mutual respect and understanding must form the foundation of any sexual interaction, and by fostering this environment, older couples can ensure a more fulfilling sexual life. Furthermore, by prioritizing open dialogue around intimacy and sexuality, older couples can address issues of performance anxiety and sexual confidence. As the video emphasizes, aging should not be seen as the end of sexual desire, but rather as an opportunity to explore intimacy in deeper and more meaningful ways. Through education and open discussion, older individuals can shift their mindset and view intimacy as an ongoing, vital part of a healthy and fulfilling life. Ultimately, the message of this video is one of empowerment. Older adults should challenge societal norms and overcome feelings of shame and discomfort surrounding intimacy. Sexuality is not a phase of life, it is a lifelong journey. And that journey should continue to be filled with exploration, connection, and pleasure. The video encourages viewers to embrace this journey, regardless of age, and to foster more open and accepting conversations about intimacy and aging. By doing so, we can create a world where sexual expression is not only accepted but celebrated at every stage of life. As individuals grow older, many of the physical aspects of life may change, but the need for emotional and physical intimacy often remains crucial. However, due to societal misconceptions, intimacy, especially in its more explicit forms like fellatio, is sometimes thought to lose its relevance with age. This is particularly the case for older adults, 50+, who may face unique challenges in maintaining intimacy, often leading to misconceptions that sexual activity diminishes or disappears as people get older. Contrary to these beliefs, this section aims to highlight how practices like fellatio can bring a range of significant benefits to older adults. These benefits stretch far beyond physical pleasure and extend into emotional, psychological, and even physiological realms. Fellatio, as a form of sexual intimacy, not only enhances the bond between partners but also offers various health advantages, reducing stress, enhancing connection, and even improving long-term relationship satisfaction. One of the most profound aspects of fellatio for older adults is its ability to enhance emotional connection. As people age, the form of intimacy that couples share tends to evolve. Physical attraction and sexual intimacy may face challenges due to aging bodies or health-related issues, but fellatio remains a powerful tool to nurture the emotional and physical bond between partners. This intimacy triggers the release of essential bonding hormones, primarily oxytocin and dopamine, which are responsible for creating feelings of love, happiness, and trust. Oxytocin, often referred to as the love hormone, is released during intimate acts like fellatio, fostering a sense of emotional security and attachment between partners. The release of oxytocin helps strengthen the emotional bond, particularly important in long-term relationships, where the initial stages of passionate love may evolve into deeper affection. As couples age, maintaining that deep emotional bond becomes even more critical in ensuring that the relationship continues to thrive. Similarly, dopamine, known as the feel-good hormone, is released during pleasurable experiences, including sexual acts. The production of dopamine during fellatio can trigger feelings of euphoria, happiness, and satisfaction. These positive emotions help to solidify the emotional connection between partners, leading to a greater sense of fulfillment in the relationship. For older couples, these emotional benefits are essential as they often face challenges like health-related concerns or the potential loss of physical attraction due to aging. Fellatio, when performed with love and care, allows couples to continue deepening their emotional connection in meaningful ways. This continued release of oxytocin and dopamine also promotes psychological well-being, helping older adults to feel more secure, loved, and content in their relationships. The concept of an emotional bridge refers to the deeper, emotional connection that forms between couples as they navigate through life together. This bridge is built on trust, mutual respect, and vulnerability. As relationships mature, the emotional bridge needs to be maintained through acts of intimacy and connection. This is where fellatio can be particularly impactful. For many older adults, the idea of intimacy changes over time. What was once an act driven primarily by physical desire may evolve into an expression of love, care, and emotional support. The continued practice of sexual intimacy, including fellatio, provides a means for couples to keep this emotional bridge strong, especially as physical changes in the body, such as erectile dysfunction or decreased libido, may alter traditional forms of sexual activity. The intimate nature of fellatio requires a level of vulnerability and trust that strengthens the emotional bond between partners. The act itself, though deeply physical, also carries emotional significance. For many older adults, the act of giving or receiving fellatio becomes a symbol of affection, devotion, and unconditional acceptance. In this way, fellatio helps to reinforce the emotional bridge between couples, allowing them to continue to nurture their connection despite the challenges of aging. As relationships mature, emotional vulnerability becomes more important than ever. Fellatio provides a space for couples to express trust and acceptance of each other, especially as they grow older and may feel less physically desirable. This emotional exchange promotes a sense of security and connection, preventing the emotional distance that can sometimes arise with aging. Sexual anxiety and stress are common among older adults, particularly those who may be experiencing changes in their sexual health, such as erectile dysfunction or reduced libido. Fellatio can help alleviate some of these concerns, providing a form of intimacy that is low pressure and focused on mutual pleasure rather than performance. For many men, the anxiety related to erectile dysfunction or performance pressure can dampen their ability to enjoy sexual intimacy. Fellatio offers a way to maintain sexual connection without the focus on penetrative intercourse. It shifts the attention to pleasure and comfort, which helps reduce performance-related anxiety. Instead of worrying about physical limitations or the ability to perform, couples can focus on the act of pleasure itself, which is particularly valuable for older adults facing physical or emotional difficulties. Beyond reducing anxiety in the context of sexual performance, fellatio also promotes a sense of well-being by triggering the release of dopamine and oxytocin, which are both associated with stress reduction and relaxation. These hormones help to reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, and improve overall mood, making sexual intimacy a form of stress relief for older couples. As a result, fellatio is not only a source of physical pleasure but also a stress-reducing practice that helps maintain emotional balance and overall mental health. The positive effects of reducing anxiety can ripple through other areas of life, promoting a more balanced and peaceful approach to aging. For older men, maintaining good blood circulation is essential to preventing and managing issues like erectile dysfunction, ED. Erectile dysfunction is a common concern for older adults, often stemming from reduced blood flow to the penis due to aging or other health-related factors. Fellatio, as a form of sexual activity, encourages blood flow and may help maintain vascular health, reducing the risk of ED. Regular sexual activity, including oral sex, can serve as a form of exercise for the cardiovascular system. Engaging in sexual activity helps improve circulation and increase heart rate, which can promote better vascular health. For older men, this increase in blood flow is crucial, as it may help prevent or reduce the severity of erectile dysfunction by keeping the arteries and blood vessels healthy. While fellatio may not directly cure erectile dysfunction, it does contribute to maintaining healthy sexual function and can be a valuable practice for older men looking to stay sexually active without the pressure of traditional intercourse. Moreover, the act of fellatio encourages intimacy and connection, reducing the emotional distress that often accompanies ED, which in turn can help prevent performance anxiety from interfering with the sexual experience. Research suggests that older couples who engage in a variety of sexual activities, including fellatio, report higher levels of satisfaction and fulfillment in their relationships. This stands in stark contrast to the common misconception that sexual satisfaction declines with age. In fact, older adults who continue to explore different forms of sexual intimacy often experience greater connection and pleasure, regardless of the physical changes they may encounter. Studies show that couples who maintain a diverse sexual life, engaging in everything from kissing and cuddling to oral sex, report stronger relationships and higher levels of happiness. Fellatio, as an intimate form of sexual expression, is associated with increased satisfaction, because it allows partners to express affection and desire in a non-pressuring, emotionally fulfilling way. For older couples, these continued expressions of love and desire are essential to maintaining a vibrant and fulfilling relationship. Engaging in practices like fellatio can also help maintain or even reignite intimacy in long-term relationships, where physical attraction may have waned over time. The diversity of sexual practices allows couples to experiment and explore, preventing the relationship from falling into monotony. As couples age, the idea of intimacy often shifts away from purely physical acts to deeper emotional and psychological connections, and fellatio can play a role in maintaining these connections. By engaging in acts like fellatio, older couples can continue to feel desired, valued, and emotionally fulfilled, which fosters a sense of well-being and relationship stability. This is particularly important for long-term partners, as the emotional component of the relationship often becomes even more essential as both partners navigate the challenges of aging. As we age, the need for intimacy and connection does not fade, in fact, it often becomes more important. For many older couples, continuing to explore sexual intimacy is a key aspect of maintaining a vibrant and fulfilling relationship. One sexual activity that can provide both emotional and physical benefits is fellatio. This guide aims to provide practical advice for performing fellatio in a way that is respectful, sensitive, and focused on mutual satisfaction. It emphasizes the importance of communication, safety, and emotional connection while engaging in this intimate practice. As with any sexual activity, fellatio should always be approached with respect, understanding, and sensitivity. When engaging in an intimate practice such as this, the emotional and physical comfort of both partners should always be the primary concern. Relaxation and open communication. One of the most essential components of any intimate act, including fellatio, is the ability to relax and communicate openly. Stress and tension can create barriers to physical pleasure and emotional connection. For older adults, relaxation is especially important, as physical discomfort or anxieties about aging can interfere with the experience. Taking the time to relax and establish a calm, comfortable environment is crucial. Open communication is the cornerstone of any healthy sexual experience, particularly when exploring more intimate or potentially vulnerable acts like fellatio. Both partners should feel comfortable discussing their desires, preferences, and any concerns they may have. Whether it's about comfort, pleasure, or any discomfort they may experience, it's important that both partners feel heard and understood. To begin, set the tone for intimacy by creating a relaxed atmosphere. Ensure that the environment is private, quiet, and free of distractions. This could involve dimming the lights, playing soft music, or setting aside time when neither partner feels rushed. Taking the time to relax both physically and emotionally helps to build trust and intimacy between partners, setting a positive foundation for sexual experiences. Gentle exploration using hands. Fellatio is not just about oral stimulation, it can be a full-body experience. Integrating the use of hands can make the experience even more pleasurable for both partners. Gentle exploration is key. It's important to take the time to explore each other's bodies with tenderness and curiosity, paying attention to what feels good and avoiding rushing through the act. For the individual performing fellatio, the use of hands can help control the pace, making it more comfortable and pleasurable. You can use your hands to stroke the partner's shaft, apply gentle pressure, or massage the testicles, depending on the preferences of the person receiving. Hands can also be used to enhance stimulation, adding variety and allowing for a more personalized experience. A slower, more controlled approach will allow both partners to savor the moment, fostering deeper emotional and physical satisfaction. On the receiving end, it's important for the person being stimulated to also provide feedback, guiding their partner toward what feels best. This collaborative approach helps ensure that both parties are enjoying the experience and reduces the risk of discomfort. Hygiene considerations. Good personal hygiene is essential for any intimate activity, including fellatio. A clean body makes the experience more pleasurable and reduces the risk of infections. Both partners should take the time to wash and maintain good oral hygiene before engaging in oral sex. For the person giving fellatio, brushing their teeth or using mouthwash can improve both comfort and taste. For the person receiving, cleanliness can also help create a more pleasurable environment. You can also consider using flavored condoms or dental dams if desired. These provide an extra layer of hygiene and comfort, particularly for individuals who may have concerns about oral health or cleanliness. Using protection during oral sex can help reduce the risk of transmitting sexually transmitted infections, STIs, though this is a concern that affects individuals of all ages, including older adults. It's also important to remember that hygiene isn't only about cleanliness, it's about mutual respect. Both partners should feel comfortable enough to express their needs regarding hygiene and cleanliness without judgment. Creating an open and non-judgmental space is vital to fostering intimacy and trust. Varying speed and technique. To keep the experience fresh and exciting, it's important to vary the speed and technique during fellatio. The pace and pressure can significantly alter the sensations for the person receiving, and switching between different speeds and techniques can lead to heightened pleasure and arousal. For example, switching between slow, gentle strokes and faster, more intense ones can create a sense of rhythm and anticipation. Additionally, incorporating different techniques, such as using the tongue to swirl, flick, or apply light pressure, can increase sensations of pleasure. Each person is different, so experimentation is key to discovering what feels best. It's also important to remain aware of your partner's comfort and enjoyment. If at any point, the receiving partner feels discomfort, it's crucial to adjust your speed, pressure, or technique. Again, open communication is essential in this regard. Encourage your partner to express what they enjoy and what might feel better for them, and adjust accordingly. A safe and comfortable environment is vital for any intimate activity, and this holds especially true for fellatio. Older adults may experience changes in their bodies that can lead to anxiety, vulnerability, or concerns about physical appearance. A safe space allows both partners to feel emotionally and physically comfortable, helping to foster trust, connection, and deeper intimacy. Open communication, sharing desires and boundaries. Before engaging in fellatio, both partners should take the time to have an open conversation about their desires, limits, and any potential concerns. This is particularly important for older couples, as they may be navigating changes in their sexual health, such as erectile dysfunction, vaginal dryness, or concerns about performance. By communicating openly and honestly, couples can ensure that they are both comfortable and on the same page about what they want. Discussing boundaries is equally crucial. Boundaries help define what each partner is comfortable with and ensure that no one feels coerced or pressured into engaging in anything they are not ready for. For example, if a partner feels uncomfortable with a specific technique, it is important to respect that boundary and find a method that feels better for both individuals. An open dialogue should continue throughout the experience. As both partners engage in fellatio, they should feel comfortable providing feedback to one another, whether it's adjusting the pace, pressure, or technique. This continuous exchange promotes mutual understanding, trust, and deeper emotional connection. Creating a comfortable, pressure-free environment. In the context of fellatio, it's important to create an atmosphere where both partners feel comfortable and unrushed. Many older adults may feel self-conscious about their bodies or may have health-related concerns that affect their sexual confidence. A non-pressuring environment allows both individuals to be present in the moment and focus on mutual pleasure. There should be no expectation or timeline for sexual activity. Take your time and focus on enjoying each other's company. Remove any external pressures or expectations about performance or the need to achieve an orgasm. The goal of fellatio, as with any sexual activity, is to build intimacy and enhance connection, not to rush through the act or meet certain standards. For older adults, creating a comfortable and pressure-free environment may mean making modifications that suit their needs. For example, using extra pillows for support, choosing a time when both partners are relaxed, or adjusting positions to accommodate physical comfort can go a long way in fostering a positive experience. In summary, fellatio for older adults can be an incredibly fulfilling practice that goes beyond physical pleasure to foster emotional intimacy, trust, and connection. The key to a successful experience lies in performing the act with respect, sensitivity, and a focus on mutual satisfaction. When approached with relaxation, open communication, and awareness of comfort, fellatio can strengthen the emotional bond between partners, reduce anxieties, and help maintain a satisfying sexual relationship. By exploring gently, varying technique and pace, and maintaining good hygiene, couples can ensure that their sexual experiences are both safe and pleasurable. Incorporating these principles, particularly the emphasis on creating a safe space, engaging in open dialogue, and respecting each other's boundaries, will lead to an enriching experience for both partners. As older adults continue to explore intimacy and connection, these practices will help them. As people age, they may face various challenges that can affect their sexual lives. These challenges might include performance anxiety, physical changes, or emotional concerns that could affect intimacy with a partner. However, it is important to understand that aging doesn't mean the end of sexual pleasure or desire. Rather, it can be an opportunity to deepen emotional connections and explore new aspects of intimacy. Fellatio, along with other forms of sexual exploration, can serve as a tool to overcome these challenges, particularly in relation to performance anxiety and building confidence. Reducing performance anxiety. One of the most common issues many older adults face in their sexual lives is performance anxiety. The fear of not being able to perform sexually, whether due to physical changes or concerns about aging, can create unnecessary pressure and hinder sexual enjoyment. Many men, in particular, may worry about issues like erectile dysfunction or a decline in stamina. However, focusing too much on performance can detract from the enjoyment of intimacy, causing stress and anxiety that ultimately affect the relationship. The key to alleviating this anxiety lies in focusing on the connection, rather than on specific outcomes like orgasm or penetration. When couples approach intimacy with an open mindset, where pleasure and connection are the main goals, they can reduce the pressure placed on performance. Oral sex, including fellatio, can be especially beneficial in this context. Since fellatio focuses on pleasure and connection rather than performance, it offers a relaxing and enjoyable alternative to other sexual activities that may cause anxiety. The act itself encourages slower, more deliberate intimacy, allowing both partners to relax and enjoy each other's company without the expectation of immediate results. This approach can relieve the pressure of performance, which can be especially important for older adults, and help them focus on the emotional and physical connection they share. By creating a safe, relaxed environment, couples can explore these aspects of intimacy without the fear of failure. Encouraging open communication throughout the process, where both partners express their needs and desires, fosters an atmosphere of understanding and trust, further reducing anxiety. If a partner is feeling discomfort, it's important to communicate these feelings openly, which helps in adjusting pace and pressure to ensure mutual enjoyment. Creating a comfortable space to explore and enjoy intimacy. Another way to reduce performance anxiety and enhance intimacy is by creating a comfortable space for exploration. This includes both the physical environment and the emotional atmosphere. Many older couples may experience physical changes in their bodies, such as decreased libido or vaginal dryness. These changes can affect intimacy, but creating a safe and open space for communication can lead to more fulfilling experiences. When it comes to fellatio, as with other forms of intimacy, the key is to take your time and be patient with one another. Rather than focusing on getting it over with, prioritize the process of mutual exploration. Gentle touch, relaxation, and tenderness go a long way in creating an emotionally fulfilling experience. Taking the time to understand one another's needs, such as paying attention to what feels good and what doesn't, helps to build intimacy. For many older adults, it can be refreshing to focus on the sensual experience rather than the destination. This kind of relaxed exploration can help ease anxiety, encourage enjoyment, and strengthen emotional bonds. Building confidence and comfort in sexual expression. Confidence is often one of the most significant factors in maintaining a fulfilling sexual relationship. In older adults, however, self-esteem and confidence may be impacted by changes in the body, the loss of a partner, or other challenges that come with aging. Yet, intimacy, when approached with openness and respect, can actually boost self-esteem and build confidence. To start, creating a relaxed environment where both partners can express their desires and communicate freely is vital for reducing stress and anxiety. When people feel heard and respected, they tend to feel more confident in their ability to perform and to enjoy intimacy. This applies to both the person performing fellatio and the person receiving it. Mutual respect and understanding create a foundation for healthy, confident sexual expression. Communication is also essential in addressing any concerns or hesitations about physical changes or other challenges that may arise as we age. For example, a partner might be concerned about how their body has changed, but sharing these feelings with one another can help create a sense of security. Vulnerability in this context can bring couples closer together, fostering a deeper emotional connection and improving sexual confidence. Performing fellatio, in particular, can be empowering for both parties. For the person giving it, the act of being attentive and focused on their partner's pleasure fosters confidence. For the person receiving, it can be a reaffirmation of their desirability, boosting self-esteem and helping them feel desired and appreciated. Self-acceptance, knowing that aging is a natural part of life and that intimacy evolves as well, also plays a critical role in enhancing sexual confidence. The main takeaway from this discussion is that aging is not the end of sexual desire or intimacy. On the contrary, it can be an opportunity to explore and deepen the emotional and physical connection with a partner in new and meaningful ways. Many couples find that as they age, they have more time to focus on the quality of their intimacy rather than just the quantity. In this sense, sexual exploration becomes about connection rather than performance. Fellatio and other forms of intimacy can serve as powerful tools for enhancing emotional bonds, reducing anxiety, and fostering confidence. By focusing on mutual pleasure, creating a comfortable space for exploration, and communicating openly, older adults can enjoy fulfilling sexual relationships that enrich their emotional and physical well-being. We must work together to challenge societal stigmas surrounding sexuality and aging. Older adults have every right to enjoy vibrant, healthy sexual lives, and it's important to embrace and accept the evolving nature of intimacy. Society's outdated views should not define or limit the sexual expression of older adults. As we move forward, it's essential to foster a more open and accepting environment when it comes to discussing sex and intimacy, especially for older adults. Share your thoughts and experiences, and encourage others to engage in conversations about how sexuality changes and deepens with age. Together, we can create a supportive community where people feel empowered to continue exploring their intimacy at any stage of life. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking, and sharing it with others who might benefit from this information. Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue to build a dialogue around intimacy, aging, and the importance of maintaining a fulfilling sexual life throughout our years.